I'm going to show you how Haynes Crisscross works. You first go to signin.haynes.com. It'll bring up our login page where you would put your username and your password in. Click login. And this is our platform. Now you do have access to all of these tabs and I will go over all of them, but you can see the green Crisscross Plus tab is standing out. This tab is where you're going to spend most of your time. Now, when you do log in, it defaults to the green tab. So we're going to start here and you can search by zip code or by neighborhood. And we're going to start by zip code and we're going to highlight that. And you can list up to 10 zip codes separated by commas at one time. If you wanted to narrow those zip codes down to city or cities, you could do that here, or a street name. Now, anytime you put in a zip code, you're going to get all single family confirmed homeowners and their residents and renters. If you wanted to narrow it down and just see confirmed homeowners, you would highlight that. That is not going to bring up any renters, okay? If you would come over here and you wanted to target renters, you could do all 3, 2, or 1. That's not going to bring up any homeowners. If you leave them both blank, it'll bring up both. Length of residency, property information, financial information, consumer behavior, and family information is all going to be available in the next screen under advanced options, plus much more. But these options we let you narrow down before the next screen. So for example, if you wanted to see a certain length of residency from minimum to maximum, you would adjust that here. Same with your property information, total assessed value, total appraised value. Your subdivisions, of course, will load here based on your zip code. You've got square foot type, and then you can narrow that down to the minimum, maximum square foot. This is total numbers of rooms in the house, total numbers of bedrooms, bathrooms. Under your financial information, first mortgage amount, second mortgage amount, credit rating. If you only wanted to see people who fall under this category, you would check those. Otherwise, if you do not have any of these checked and you choose credit rating in the next screen, that'll show everybody. Income, minimum to maximum, net worth. Transportation information, you choose the make of the car. Of course, once you choose the make, then you choose the model. Minimum year to the maximum year, and the minimum transaction date to the maximum transaction date. Consumer behavior, we have different interests, different preferences, different collectors, different hobbies, different donations, people who contribute to different charities and organizations. Over under family, we have family position. If you wanted to target to a certain member of the family, HOH is head of household. Language, different languages. We have different races for ethnic surnames, generations in the home. We can even tell you who have cats and dogs. Presence of elderly, presence of young adult. Again, this is only if you wanted to narrow this down before you get to the next screen. Now, step 3 is always going to default to list all records. That's going to give you name, address, phone number, cell phone number, and email address. If you wanted to only see records that are okay to call against the do not call, you could highlight telemarketing. Same with if you only wanted to see email, contacts with emails on file, you would highlight emailing, phones, land, and or cell. And this is the best possible contact record to send mailers to. This, I suggest if you are doing mailings, you always highlight this because it will only populate one resident at the address, and that is the head of household. We're going to keep list of all records highlighted and do a search. Now here you can see it brings up the whole zip code, 44714, name, address, phone number, cell phone number, email address. Now up here are your advanced options. We have over 280 fields of criteria. It's alphabetized, and you go through the list and you simply can build your list based on what you want to see. So for example, age, we're going to highlight age. You come over here and you drop that over. Come down here and I'll show you credit rating. Highlight that, drop that over, and we'll do income. And again, this is all in alphabetical order. Highlight that and add that over. And anytime you bring anything from over here over to here, you want to fill that name as a header. So you can create those headers on your spreadsheet, hit submit. As you can see, those headers with all that information listed below. And that is as easy as it is to search by zip code. Now I'm going to start all over. We're going to stay in the green tab and we're going to search by neighborhood. Now, you do not have to have a house number here, but you do have to have the street name. You have to have your state and a city or a zip code. I prefer zip code. And anytime you're searching by neighborhood, you can just simply come down here and do a search. Now here you can do a street search, a radius search, or a map search. A street search is going to bring up the closest 50 neighbors to that address that you started with. So I'll click on that so you can see. And as you can see, that's just 50 records. That's what we consider a neighborhood. Always have your advanced options to enhance this data the same as the zip code. I'm going to start all over here. I got to put this in one more time. Come down here and do a search. Now here you can do a radius search, and that's where you can enter 0.1 mile to 2 miles around that address. And it'll do a radius around there. Or you can do a map search. And this is where you can do freeform plotting or radius plotting. You just click on the one that you want to do. Freeform, you have to have at least 3 points on the map, a minimum, view available prospects that way. Radius plotting, you start at your central location and you draw around and you can view available prospects that way. And that is how you search by neighborhood. Now we're going to come over here to the neighbor search tab. As you can see, we have the same address in here, and I'm just going to show you the difference. This tab will give you the same information and it comes up the same way, street search, radius search, or map search, but it does not automatically populate the cell phones and the emails. You do get a purchase date, a purchase amount, and estimated home value, but you can get those from the advanced options, those headers as well. But if you wanted to use the neighbor search, you would come up here and add your cell phones and your email addresses. And it does go by area code and by number, and then you come down and email addresses here. And you would fill that name as a header and hit submit. And that would populate those for you there. But again, same information that's in the green tab, it automatically will give you the cell phones and the emails without having to do that. Upload tab, that is if you have a list of addresses, a lot of addresses, and you don't want to list them one by one in the searching by neighborhood here or here. You would come over here to the upload tab, and this pulls from here. So you automatically get cell phones and email addresses if they're available. And what you do is you come in here and you download our template here. Once you download our template here, you copy and paste those addresses, get them into that template, however you have to do it. You name it and save it to your desktop. You come back to your upload tab and you select it here. And this is my address. I'm going to go here, open. Once that green dot appears, it's ready for upload. You click upload. And there's my name, and that was just based on my address, and will get information that's available. Again, you always have your advanced options to enhance your data. Okay. And you can do up to 1,000 addresses at once. You have a certain amount of credits depending on what package you have. The renters tab, it works the same as the neighbor search tab. You can get renters in here, but you would have to add cell phones and email addresses from the advanced options. So again, you just want to stay here because your renters are right here. It's already going to populate for you. Business tab, very general business information. You can search by SIC lookup, and that's just simply by choosing the industry, highlighting it and adding it over. Once you do that, it'll populate the SIC codes. You can do up to 10. And you come down here and you put your state, and you want to narrow that down by city, county, or zip code. I'll show you what a business list looks like. And you can see it, just the name of the business, the address, the phone number, and the industry if you don't specify it. Now up here are advanced options in the business tab. And we did just recently add email addresses to the business tab. So show you that, highlight that, add that over, works just the same as the other tabs. Fill that name as a header, hit submit, and there's your email addresses. And that is the business tab. Map search is if you want to get an aerial view. Now you do have to start with an address, and simply just type it in like I'm doing. Come over here and do a search. Okay, and you see here's your address that you start with, and you click on aerial view. And here's the address that we started with, and all of these numbers are going to go on the house that it belongs to. On the map, you can, it goes about 1/4 of a mile around the address that you start with. On the map, you can zoom in and you can get a better look. There are these bubbles that you can click on, and you can get some information on the map, depending on what we have for that specific address. And once you're done looking at the map, you just simply click Export Records, and that'll put that into a spreadsheet. And you, again, always have your advanced options to enhance that data. And we're going to come over here to the directory tab. The directory tab is what has made us famous, the Haynes Crisscross Directory, the Big Blue Book. This is now the Big Blue Book. It is a tab online. It works the same way. You can search by name, you can search by address, or you can search by residential or business phone number. Now you can get cell phones and email addresses in the advanced options in this tab. I'm going to put a name in here, and I'll just show you how this works. And anytime you're searching by name, address, or phone number, you want to come up here and put your state, and you want to narrow that down again by city, county, or zip code. Search. And there's address here. And again, you have your advanced options up here where you can add to enhance those, your cell phones, your emails. Those are all over here in the advanced options. Okay, now I'm going to show you how packages and pricing work. We're going to come back over here to the green tab, and I'm going to search by zip code. I'm going to put that zip code back in and do a search. Now, packages and pricing, we have 3 packages. We have a starter, a pro, and a pro plus. Each package, you get unlimited monthly searches, lookups, exports, and downloads. You're just limited to how many contacts you can export per download. So for example, I'm going to use the starter. The starter package, you are allowed to pull out 1,500 contacts per download. So there's 5,128 here. You can't do all the records because you don't have enough. You can do the current page, and you can do current pages all day long. You're just got to keep one thing in mind. There's only 100 contacts maximum per page. So what we suggest when you're searching by zip code is you do pages. So I know I'm allowed to pull out 1,500 contacts per export. So I'm going to put pages 1 through 15. There's my first 1,500. You select the export format, and we have CSV, Excel, labels Avery for mail labels. I'm going to put it in CSV format. And once it gets in that format, you simply click download. It'll download pages 1 through 15.
For videos like this one, as well as a ton of other helpful tools, visit our resources page. Thanks so much for watching, and happy prospecting.